Hey everybody, this is Paul, the Death Scouter, making another financial video for my Facebook friends and my Death Scouter, all one word YouTube channel, where I've got all kinds of great financial advice. Today, we're answering the mail for the people that want the fast results, the easy button, the instant weight loss, the whatever it is. I am doing my money management quick start so that people can get excited and see immediate results in the money that goes in and out of their pockets. The interesting thing about personal finance and money management is it's far more psychological than it is mathematical. I see people all the time going, "How do I learn to start investing? How do I know what's a good stock?" Reality is you're not even ready to start investing yet because you're living a lifestyle of wasteful spending. I want it, right? I deserve this. Oh, I've worked hard for this, right? Or everyone else has it, so I want it too, right? And so you're driven to make very bad financial decisions. And the question is why? And when you recognize the why, then we can change the how. Because the math behind investing is actually stupid simple, right? The longer you have to invest, you put more money in, the longer time it has to grow, you end up with more money, right? Do you want to be spending 20% or earning 3%, right? Well, obviously you want to stop spending the 20%. It's a bigger number. You've learned how to do the comparative math when you were in third or fourth grade. So why now as an adult are so many people acting like they're confused by the concept? Well, the reality is the concept's not very hard. You are fighting your natural human instinct of rewarding yourself versus punishing yourself. So it's about taking a change in mindset. The folks at Facebook figured this out long ago. You post a picture, you put it on social media, people like it. Oh, you get excited. Oh, they love my hair. They love my new shoes. They love this destination on my vacation. They love the picture of my steak dinner, whatever it is. And you get excited by those likes. And so you take more selfies and you post more and you refresh your screen more and your screen time goes through the roof. And Facebook is running these algorithms to keep you refreshing the screen and keep you having screen time so that they can continue to send you targeted advertising. They are trying to separate you from your money with a lot of technology behind everything that pops up on your Facebook feed. They realize that you are driven by the dopamine release in your brain. Literally, no different than those who use drugs, no different than those who have a gambling addiction, etc. It's all about doing things that make you feel good, even if they're not in your best interest. The opposite is also true. Why do so many people fail when they try to diet? Well, I'm going to deny myself that ice cream. I'm going to deny myself that pizza. I'm going to physically punish myself by walking on a treadmill every night. Well, see, that's no fun, and mentally, it's a punishment. And no one wants to keep hurting themselves. People want to reward themselves. So you have to accept that feeding that dopamine release is what drives us, whether it's for the good or the bad. It's how we're wired to work. So let's take a look at what it's driven most people to do. What's normal in America? Well, the reality is that normal is relatively dumb because look at what it's done to us as a people. 71% of us are living paycheck to paycheck. We're on that treadmill. We're running and running, but we're not getting anywhere, including those who are earning six figures or more. People always say, oh, if I only had more money, my problems would be solved. Well, that's not true because most people experience lifestyle creep. As you earn more money, you get a newer car, you get a fancier car, you get a bigger house, you go to a nicer neighborhood, etc., etc. And at the end of the month, guess where they end up? Right back at zero, living paycheck to paycheck at the end of every month, like so many others do. 63% don't even have $1,000 in their savings account. They can't put their hands on $1,000 cash if they need it to for an emergency. Of course, they turn to credit cards to bail them out and sustain the unsustainable lifestyles that they want to live. And one of the other things that we do is 31% of Americans at any time have a car loan, long term, high interest loan on something that is constantly losing value. The other things that people do, 61%, these are huge numbers, by the way. 61% of Americans are in credit card debt. 22% say they're getting deeper in debt month after month, to the point that 14% say they're already missing payments or have just stopped paying, which is crazy. And then we have to face this, the college quandary. Now, I am not going to go down the philosophical rat hole as to whether or not a college degree is in your financial best interest, but I will show you the numbers, because student loans have become one of the largest financial obstacles for an entire generation. 49% of the people who enroll in college do not graduate. So, in short, Americans are just sending too many kids to college because half of them don't even get to graduate. The other thing is that whether you graduate or not, 25% of everyone who enrolls in college ends up ringing up unforgivable, which means you can't even declare bankruptcy to escape it, unforgivable student loans that will put you in debt for 21 to 30 years. Now, a lot of these kids are going to college. The public schools have done them no great service. They are spending borrowed money, student loans, to take remedial classes just to come up to the level that they were supposed to be at when they graduated high school. And they're taking remedial classes on borrowed money that do not give them any financial credits. I'm sorry, college credits. So many of them drop out of school, 49%. They do not have their degree, but they also don't even have any college credits. They spent a lot of money just coming up to where they should have been a year, 2 years, 3 years prior. Big thing of wasteful spending, 69% of people eat out regularly and acknowledge that they believe that they've wasted their money, but it feels good, they have fun doing it, and they do it anyway. Remember, this is about feeding that dopamine release. And here's an interesting number. 12% of Americans now report regularly smoking marijuana. 11% still smoke tobacco, and 8% are using vape devices. Add these numbers together, and it's 1/3 of Americans who are literally putting their health and their money up in smoke. And now we're wondering why it's normal to not have any money left over and live paycheck to paycheck. Well, this screen answers that question. So, what we need to do is start to see things differently. We have to accept that a new mental perspective is required if we want to make changes to the way we handle our finances and grow our fiscal health and wealth. So it's all about the dopamine rush. We can't change it. That's how we work. But we can refocus the dopamine rush not on things that are wasteful and unproductive, like a $5 Starbucks coffee or the latest iPhone or a designer handbag that nobody cares about, a month after you buy it. Get excited over smarter decisions. Get excited that you have some money going into savings. Get excited that you're reducing your monthly debt. Get excited that you used to have 10 bills and now you're down to 9, then you're down to 8, then you're down to 7. Get excited that you're achieving your financial goals each and every time you choose to not get the Starbucks, not smoke, not stop at McDonald's, not waste your money on this or that, right? So get excited every single time you avoid what you now recognize as a bad choice. If you're going to be driven by a dopamine rush, then let the dopamine rush be caused by something that's in your better interests, not your worst interest. So here's how I'm going to get you started. Remember, I started this video, I said this is your quick start. Now that we've got the mental perspective under control, now that you know you have to change the way you even look and consider spending your money, let's look at 6 ways to put money in your pocket right this very minute, starting now. First thing you need to do is you need to get rid of debt. These things are ridiculous. ridiculously expensive. Credit cards, car loans, student loans, you name it. You need to do something called the debt snowball. Now, this is stolen directly from our friend Dave Ramsey. He instructs you to write down all of your debts, not just credit cards, all of your debts, student loans, car loans, the money you owe Uncle Al, whatever it is. Smallest balance to largest balance. We're going to make our minimum payment on every bill. We never pay our bills late. We don't destroy our credit score. But we take every penny that we can and we knock out the smallest bill first. And then we divert the money from that one once it's paid off to the next smallest and the next smallest. The reason that we do this is because it's the dopamine rush. We have to see, smell, feel, taste, see progress being made, or we can't stick with it, right? You can't stick with the diet if the scale doesn't show you losing weight. So this is how we start losing financial weight. We get rid of our debt. We get rid of the number of bills that we have. One of the other things that you should do, call the 800 number on the back of every credit card. Explain that you're having a tough time. You want to keep making your payments. I need your help. Use those words and ask for a lower interest rate. Don't ask for more credit, a lower interest rate. And you'll be surprised at how much money you can save. Maybe they work with you, maybe they don't, but the phone call is free and it only takes a few minutes of your time. The other thing that we do that we spend money on right now that we get no return out of is your auto insurance policy. Most people just pay their auto insurance month after month. Every 6 months it renews. They never even question the coverage. But your vehicle has steadily gone down in value. You're over-insuring a vehicle that's no longer worth what it was worth the day you got your insurance policy. So never be underinsured and never cancel insurance just to save a buck, but adjust your coverage to reflect the current value of your car, including increasing your deductibles to $500 or even $1,000. Remember, theoretically, you never want to file a claim anyway, so that's a maybe loss as compared to your monthly premium that is the guaranteed loss. So if you increase your deductibles and you lower your premiums by 20 to 30%, that is a guaranteed gain month after month just for making a phone call and adjusting your policy to reflect the current value of your car. This one is no fun at all, but it's very, very valuable. Do a written budget, whether you write it on paper or you use an app on your smart device, couldn't care less. We're at the top of the paper, write all the money that comes into your hands for the whole month, and then start subtracting your expenses in order of most important to least important. So start with your mortgage, then your food, then your utilities, work your way down. And then after you've done all that, a few things you're going to know. A, is you may realize what's important and what's not. You may realize you're spending too much money in one particular area or another. You may even realize whether or not you have more going out than you have coming in, which is a very dangerous place to be. So do a written budget, take a look at all those numbers, ask yourself, how can I change these numbers? And then you'll do something that most people are very surprised. When they follow a written budget, they tend to see a 10% increase in how much money they have. So again, 10% can be life-changing. 10% salary is what you should be putting in retirement. So if you're not putting anything in retirement, guess what we did? We just funded a retirement program, and it really didn't cost you a cent because you just found the money that you were already spending. So do a written budget carefully, consciously, diligently, and you will be rewarded tenfold. The other thing is you need to get real on your vehicle. Look at this chart. The average vehicle for an automobile is $50,000. It's steadily going down. It's lost half of its value by the fourth year that you owned it. You probably are still paying on it, and it's already lost half of its value. If you've got a car loan and you are $10, $20, $30,000 in debt, you really need to get rid of this car. Your car or trucks, and trucks especially have become stupid expensive. Anybody paying $80,000 to $100,000 for a pickup truck is a lunatic. Get rid of these things Get yourself something modest, used, and reliable. And remember that a vehicle is transportation only, especially in this phase of your life where the first thing you need to do is get your financial act together before you start spending money on things that you really can't afford. Get something practical and used. Try to pay cash or have a short term loan and get out of tens of thousands of dollars of debt that you can take off your balance sheet in a very short amount of time by selling or getting rid of that vehicle. Also, when we're changing numbers around on that budget sheet, don't forget the very top number on the sheet is your income. One of the best wealth building tools you'll ever have is the money that comes into your hands through your paycheck. Just think about it this way. If you're earning $50,000 a year for the next 20 years, $1 million will pass through your hands. How much of that do you get to keep? Well, income drives a lot of financial decisions. Everyone should start searching for a new job, even if you love your job, because it's always valuable to know what other people think you're worth. The worst thing that can happen is you end up getting a new job and getting better benefits and better pay. If you're single, if you have no kids, then you have time on your hands. You should consider picking up a second job or starting a what's called a side hustle. But you need to be adding as much income to your household as you can, especially for a year or two or three to get your debt under control and get yourself out of the normal rat race. Right? So boost your income whenever, wherever possible, including take a look at these subscriptions. Now, I put this in quote because really you're not going to get rich by canceling a magazine. But what are you going to do? Well, you've got certain bills that come into your house every single month, and you've had them so long that you don't even think about them anymore. Your cable bill, your cell phone bill, your electrical bill, your gas and electric or heating oil bill. And you're just so used to them being there, you don't even question them anymore. The same way we didn't question our auto insurance policy. Take a look at these things, shave off what you can. I will tell you that I canceled all of my TV subscriptions. I stream everything on high speed internet. I saved $140 a month on my Verizon Fios bill by getting rid of my subscription channels. Crazy money. Call around. Can you get your propane or your heating oil or your electric from different providers? Can you cancel streaming services that you signed up for you don't use, gaming services you don't use, the sports channel that you signed up for so that you could watch the Super Bowl and you don't really look at it anymore, right? You got to get smart with the recurring bills. Remember, every recurring bill becomes a recurring savings as well. So here we are. It's all about the dopamine rush, refocusing your brain on things that matter, getting excited, getting that dopamine rush for things that make you better, not worse. Starting out, get out of debt first, right? That's the most important thing you can do with your money. Second thing, get smart with every single dollar. Every time you don't stop at McDonald's, it's a reward for yourself. Every time you don't buy a Starbucks coffee, that's a reward for yourself, right? Establish achievable goals and remember, the more that you can see that you're putting money back in your own pocket, the more that you can see that you're doing smarter today than you were yesterday, you will get that dopamine rush, right? Monitor and celebrate your progress. Remember, you are comparing yourself to yourself yesterday. Don't worry about what your friends are doing. Most of them are broke and living paycheck to paycheck, right? Compare yourself only to your former self and make yourself better day after day. You will normalize success in all aspects of your life. And as you start to recognize that this is paying off, you're going to be motivated through those dopamine rushes that you want more, 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 more. And now you're doing better in the right direction. So once you've got money instead of debt, it's time to start learning how to invest. But today is not that day. You've got to get to this point. But I've given you the easy button. This is the easy button. You change your mental perspective, and now you can actually put money in your pocket, keep money in your pocket at the end of the month instead of digging your credit debt a little deeper and a little deeper in a hole that you wish you could get out of. Everybody stay tuned to my videos. Like and subscribe. I appreciate all my viewers. I promise you, you'll find something interesting and profitable on my channel. And of course, I welcome feedback. Thanks for watching. I am Paul, the Death Scouter.